Good morning and welcome to CIGTV's live coverage of a solemn and significant occasion for the Cayman Islands. You'll note the arrival of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Honor Guard and Bearer Party as we begin today's lying in state for the late Osmond Harris Jr. Mr. Harris was a member of Parliament for Prospect, a broadcaster, a community advocate, and a proud Caymanian. Is he on the steps looking on? Senior government officials, including the Honorable, Her Excellency the Governor, Mrs. Jane Owen, the Honorable Deputy Governor, Mr. Franz Manderson, and many others who knew Mr. Harris looking on. Again, this is the live coverage of the lying in state for Mr. Osmond Harris Jr., MP, who passed away on the 26th of January, 2026. The Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezard Miller, is being escorted outside by the Sergeant of Arms, followed by his clerks and deputy clerks, and by the Deputy Sergeant of Arms, to receive the mortal remains of Mr. Harris into the House of Parliament. The Honorable Speaker is about to say his words of welcome. I'm Takia Smith for CIGTV, and you're watching the live coverage of the lying in state for Mr. Osmond Harris. Members of Parliament, Cabinet, including the Honorable Deputy Premier, presiding ministers, members of the opposition have now arrived as the mortal remains have been delivered to the House of Parliament of Mr. Osmond Harris. The Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezard Miller, is about to issue his words of welcome any moment now. Thank you for watching. If you're tuning in on our CIGT cable channel or YouTube. Noting the arrival of the Honorable Premier, Mr. Andre Ebanks, as he joins members of Parliament and opposition, members of the opposition outside. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezard Miller is expected to speak his words of welcome to the mortal remains of Mr. Osmond Harris Jr. at any moment now. We now see the bearer party from the RCIPS about to march off towards the east corner of the House of Parliament. The RCIPS Honor Guard, that is. Also noting representation from the Cayman Islands Fire Service. Inspector Ian Yearwood is given the directions to lift the casket out of the hearse so that it can be placed on the trolley that will be used to guide the mortal remains of Mr. Harris into the House of Parliament. The Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezard Miller, will speak words of welcome to the mortal remains of Mr. Harris, as you will see here, draped in the Cayman Islands colors, the official flag, in just a moment, after which the flag at the House of Parliament will be lowered to half-mast in significance of national mourning. Just taking a moment to appreciate the skill being applied here by our bearer party as they perform the ceremonial rite. Again, you're watching the lying in state for the late Mr. Austin Osmond Harris. The bear party is turning the casket to face the trolley as it approaches the House of Parliament.
Present Earth!
An official salute has been presented, and Honorable Speaker Mr. Miller is about to offer the words of welcome.
Good morning, family and friends of Austin Osmond Harris, Her Excellency, the Governor, members of Parliament, both current and former, and members of the public. Today, we accept Austin Osmond Harris into this House of Parliament to lie in state. A rare and solemn tribute reserved for those whose service to our country has been exceptional and enduring. In this chamber, Mr. Austin Harris helped shape our laws and our national conversation, dedication, and conviction, while always carrying the voices and concerns of the people of his constituency prospect. We pause now as a grateful nation, unified in respect for his life and his service to the people of the Cayman Islands. On behalf of the Parliament of the Cayman Islands, I extend our deepest condolences to the family and our sincere thanks for the legacy Mr. Harris leaves behind. May all who enter here today do so in reflection and honor. Thank you.
Again, you're watching the lying in state for the late Mr. Austin Osmond Harris. You'll note the bearer party is now lifting the mortal remains of Mr. Harris so that they can enter the House of Parliament. Senior government officials look on, including the Honorable Premier, Mr. Andre Ebanks, Her Excellency the Governor, Mrs. Jane Owen, Deputy Governor, Honorable Franz Manderson, Mrs. Julie Hunter, MP for West Bay West, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Kenneth Bryan, and many others look on. Definitely a solemn occasion for the people of the Cayman Islands and for the MPs who would have worked alongside Mr. Harris during his time with government and also had liaised with him during his time as a media personnel who focused on Cayman and government activities.
Shoulder up! Guard in front of him. Right, turn. Guard in front of him. Right, left, pick, punch.
You'll see the honor guard marching off before the House of Parliament. As the Cayman Islands flag is being lowered to half-mast to signify a moment of national mourning. Flags have been lowered to half-mast since yesterday to note the passing of Mr. Austin Osmond Harris. Again, if you're watching or just joining us, you're watching the lying in state for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr., former MP, who passed away in late January 2026. You'll now see his mortal remains being wheeled into the gallery at the House of Parliament. Again, as we look at the bearer party, we see representation not only from the fire service and our Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, but also noting representation from the Cayman Islands Prison Service, His Majesty Cayman Islands Prison Service, that is. We now expect the arrival of Mr. Austin Harris's family as they enter to pay their respects. You'll see senior government officials being ushered in, including Minister J.E. Banks, MP for Newlands, Mr. Honorable Wayne Panton, the Honorable Isaac Rankin, and many others. Our multi-agency bearer party is now marching down before the House of Parliament. Ceremonial rites continue before the House of Parliament, with our bearer party receiving their caps as they prepare to perform an official salute. Mr. Austin Harris was born right here in the Cayman Islands on the 16th of August, 1972, and he attended Triple C School, where he graduated with academic honors in business studies before going on to earn a Bachelor of Science in Finance and building an early career in financial services. But he is most known for his time spent as a member of Parliament and also a member of the Cayman Islands media, where he actively voiced his opinions on the work of the Cayman Islands government and later became an advocate during his own term as a member of Parliament. Again, if you're just joining us, my name is Takia Smith, and you're watching the live broadcast of the lying in state for Mr. Austin Harris, who passed away on the 26th of January following a bout of illness. He previously served as an MP for Prospect and was well known in the Cayman Islands community as a member of media.
I now invite Pastor Lindsay for a word of prayer.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that we can honor and celebrate the life of Austin Osmond Harris, Jr. We thank you, Father, that you are our eternal dwelling place. You are a refuge, and you are our strength in times of trouble. And today we look unto you, and today we commit and we declare that Austin Osmond Harris is in your loving care and loving arms. We thank you today that you extend your heavenly comfort to the family, to the friends, to the colleagues, and to this company of people gathered here today to honor his life. Father, we thank you as well for this honorable house. Ask you to bless it and all of the proceedings of this time. Father, we give praise and honor and glory to your name for being here present with us and being our all in all in this time and this hour. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. I now invite former Speaker Sir Alden McLaughlin to say a few words about Austin Harris.
Good morning, everyone. Before I begin, text his condolences to Austin's family, Miss Ruby, Alex, Rob, and Ingrid, and the extended family, from myself, my family, and the entire family of the People's Progressive Movement. This morning, we gathered to honor the life of Austin Osmond Harris, Jr., a son of these islands, a former member of Parliament for Prospect, a respected broadcaster and talk show host, and a man whose voice, in every sense, left its mark on our national life. I had the privilege of working closely with Austin during his term in Parliament 2017 to 2021, and I entrusted him with the role of Parliamentary Secretary. What might seem remarkable about our relationship is that Austin had been one of my sharpest critics and indeed contested the 2017 elections as an independent. But like me, Austin was a pragmatist, not an idealist. Having won the Prospect seat, he was determined to make a real contribution to his country and understood that that could best be done by being part of the government. For my part, I've always viewed my political I've always viewed those who challenge me in politics as opponents, but not as enemies. In Austin, I saw a competent Caymanian who cared deeply about his country, and so I worked hard to convince him to join my government. It was absolutely the right thing to do. Austin quickly became one of the most valued members of my caucus, as I could rely on him to say what he meant and to mean what he said. He worked alongside me on many important government initiatives here and overseas, and always discharged his duties with diligence and commitment. But Austin never lost sight of the people who sent him to Parliament. He worked diligently for his constituents in Prospect, addressing concerns about roads, lighting, infrastructure, and community safety. He met with residents, followed up on their issues, and took seriously the everyday challenges families brought to him. To Austin, representation was not abstract, it was personal. It was about showing up, listening, and acting where he could. From the outset, it was clear to me that he did not enter public life casually. He came prepared. He read the briefing papers. He asked the difficult questions. He took his responsibilities seriously and approached the issues with intellectual discipline. He was independent in thought and deliberate in his reasoning. He believed that to speak on behalf of the people carried a duty to be informed, and he had the intellectual rigor to refine his position when the evidence called for it. He was particularly engaged with the issue of traffic congestion, not simply as a matter of roads and roundabouts, but as a question of quality of life for families and businesses across these islands. This work produced a 10-point plan to reduce congestion and contributed to broader debates about vehicle imports and the infrastructure pressures facing our growing country. He pressed for practical, long-term solutions because he believed the issue demanded serious attention. While the onset of COVID prevented that work from being fully realized, the proposals and the thinking behind them remain part of the national conversation today. We have since seen elements of that work taken forward by the previous government. The pandemic tested us all, but in that testing, Austin rose to the moment, working tirelessly to help the government steer our country through uncertainty and keep our people safe, always mindful of the constituents he served. He brought to his time in Parliament the same sense of responsibility he had carried into his work as a talk show host and broadcaster. Through his years behind the microphone, he helped shape national dialogue. He believed deeply in robust debate and discussion as the best means to test the validity of a case or argument. And of course, we all knew that Austin possessed one of the most distinctive voices in Cayman. It was a remarkable public speaking voice, rich, commanding, unmistakable. It has been said, certainly by Rob, that Austin was not a man who could whisper. Such was the quality and strength of his voice that even his quietest remarks carried across a room. That voice informed, challenged, and at times entertained the country for many years. Austin also had a lighter side. Many of us remember that Austin often said with a smile on his face that his favorite weather was cold front weather. While the rest of us might complain about the drop in temperature, Austin welcomed it. There was something about that crispness in the air that he absolutely enjoyed. It reminds us that beyond the parliamentarian and the talk show host, there was a man with simple preferences and a personality that made him distinctly Austin. Reflecting on Austin's life, I was reminded of the famous quotation entitled "The Man in the Arena," excerpted from one of President Theodore Roosevelt's speeches. Roosevelt said, "Who counts? Not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory or defeat. Public life is not easy. Politics is a blood sport. It demands courage, thick skin, and great tolerance. It requires resilience and the willingness to stand in the public square and have your views examined and challenged, and your character and reputation attacked and besmirched. But despite knowing all of that, Austin did not shy away. He put his hand up and stepped forward. He engaged, he contributed, and he served his beloved country and our people. Austin was, in every sense, the man in the arena. He entered public life because he believed he had something to contribute, and because he believed Cayman could do better. He was taken from us far too soon, at just 53 years of age. But what we can say with certainty in this is this: Austin did not stand on the sidelines of his country's story. He stood in the arena. He participated, he contributed, and he served. To his family, especially his mother, Miss Ruby, and his son, Alex, you can all be proud of Austin. You shared him with the country. Please know that his contribution mattered. His voice mattered. His service mattered. May we always remember Austin for his conviction, for his courage, for his unmistakable voice. And perhaps, when the next cold front comes through, we may think of him and smile. May he rest in peace, and may light perpetual shine upon him.
Words from Sir Alden McLaughlin, former Speaker of the House and former Premier, who would have worked alongside Mr. Austin Harris during his time as the Member of Parliament for Prospect. Again, if you're just joining us, my name is Takia Smith, and you're watching live coverage of the Lying in State for Mr. Austin Harris Jr. The Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezard Miller, is walking into the gallery to now pay his respects. The Honorable Speaker will be followed by other senior government officials. Members of the public who we now note the arrival of Mr. Harris's mother, Mrs. Ruby Harris, and other members of his family as they enter to pay their respects. We keep them in our thoughts and our prayers during this incredibly challenging time as they mourn the loss of their dear loved one. Mr. Harris is survived by his mother, Ruby, who we can see here touching the casket, and his son, Austin Alexander Harris III, but known to him and his family members as Alex. Two brothers, sisters-in-law, and many others in his family, as we can see here in this very, very somber moment as we observe definitely a period of national mourning for those who, the members of the Caymanian public who knew his voice, and these people who knew him best. We keep them in our thoughts and prayers at this time as they pass through and pay their respects. Members of the public who wish to express their condolences can sign books of condolences today at the Government Administration Building and also through Monday, February 23rd. And books of condolences will also be available at the House of Parliament until 12:30 p.m. today. If you're just now joining us, again, this is the lying in state for the late Austin Osmond Harris Jr., former MP for Prospect, broadcaster, talk show host, father, son, brother, friend, and Caymanian. Her Excellency, the Governor, Mrs. Jane Owen, is now entering the gallery to pay her respects. This is quite significant, as her respects come on behalf of the Crown that Mr. Harris would have served during his term. She is followed by Honorable Premier Mr. Andre E. Banks, who would have known Mr. Harris personally, like many of his fellow members of Parliament and colleagues. Again, quite a somber moment here for the Cayman Islands as we observe our Premier during this day of national mourning. The Honorable Gary Reddy, Deputy Premier. We see him mouthing words of prayer as he pays his respects. Once senior officials have had their opportunity to pay their respects to Mr. Harris, the members of the public will also be able to visit the House of Parliament and acknowledge the mortal remains of Mr. Harris. Members of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service are set to enter the gallery, where they will serve as honor guard throughout the lying in state. Mr. Harris was a former talk show host for nearly 8 years. One of the most popular programs he hosted was Cayman Crosstalk, where he offered very candid political commentary on matters that were pertinent to the people of the Cayman Islands. He took a segue from the airways in 2017, where he contested the seat for Prospect, and he was successful. And during that time, he served as parliamentary secretary with responsibility for employment, border control, community affairs, international trade, investment, aviation, and maritime affairs. During Sir Alden's remarks earlier, he spoke to his keen interest in making positive changes in areas such as traffic congestion, and credited him with a 10-point plan that still has traces in its implementation today. He's also known for being a staunch supporter of cleaner, safer, greener communities, beautification, and creating natural open spaces for Caymanians to enjoy here in our country. The Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes pays her respects. Minister for Health, Environment and Sustainability, followed by the Honorable Ralston Anglin, Minister for Education and Training, and also Finance and Economic Development. Next, he is followed by Honorable Deputy Governor, Mr. Franz Manderson. Again, all these people would have known each other. Representatives These are Mr. Harris's peers. We acknowledge Honorable J. Ebanks, Minister for Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing, and Infrastructure, followed by Mrs. Julie Hunter, Parliamentary Secretary and MP for West Bay West. MP for Savannah, Ms. Heather Bodden, pays her respects. Definitely a somber moment again in the LA. We see embraces and comfort being extended to persons who would have known and worked with Mr. Harris. The Honorable Michael Miles pays his respects, Minister for Cayman Islands Employment and Immigration, followed by the Honorable Isaac Rankin. MP for Newlands, the Honorable Wayne Panton. MP for Bordentown West, Mr. Chris Saunders. Look like he's sharing a joke with his friend. And Mr. Elio Solomon. Mr. Elio Solomon was his co-host on Cayman Crosstalk. You can imagine how he feels this morning. Again, members of the public who wish to pay their respects in person are able to do so. You see Mr. Roy Tatum paying his respects. Again, members of the public who want to pay their respects in person are able to do so until 12:30 p.m. The Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Joey Hugh, saying a word of prayer as he also acknowledges the mortal remains of Mr. Harris. Again, if you're just now joining us, you're watching The Lying in State for the late Mr. Austin Harris, being acknowledged by his former party member, Mr. Roy McTaggart. We have Mr. Dwayne Seymour, MP for Bordentown East, again shaking his head in disbelief at the loss of his former colleague. In December of 2025, Mr. Harris was diagnosed with leukemia, and after a short bout of illness, did pass away on the 26th of January. The Cayman Islands has been in a period of official mourning for the last 2 days, with flags having been lowered at all government buildings since Thursday, and they will remain lowered through today. We'll continue live broadcast of The Lying in State through 12:30 p.m., upon which the Honorable Speaker, Mr. Edward Miller, will issue words of farewell to the mortal remains of Mr. Austin Osmond Harris. There will be an official funeral held for Mr. Harris on Sunday, 22nd of February, at the Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road. We will also be providing live coverage of that on RCIG TV cable and YouTube channels. Again, as a reminder, there are books of condolences posted at the House of Parliament. You'll see it on your screen now. And also at the Government Administration Building. Just looking, you're seeing quite prominent signatures already being made from relatives and friends. Mr. Harris was again born right here in the Cayman Islands to Mrs. Ruby Harris. And he was a product of the Triple C School, where he graduated with academic honors in business studies. He later went on to earn a Bachelor's of Science and Finance from the University of Miami. He had an early career in financial services, first in retail banking and later in private wealth management, and also had significant human resources management experience. But he was most known for hosting multiple radio programs related to public opinion and interest, of those Cayman Crosstalk being the most popular. This is a CIG TV live broadcast of the lying in state for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr. You're watching live from the House of Parliament. My name is Takia Smith, providing commentary today. We now see Cabinet Secretary Mr. Samuel Rose, who has approached to pay his respects to Mr. Harris. We see the Honorable Sir Alden McLaughlin taking a moment to sign the books of the condolences. Books of condolence are available for signing at the House of Parliament through 12:30 p.m. today. And if you missed that opportunity, you can also visit the Government Administration Building until close of business today at 5 p.m. and again on Monday, February 23rd. As mentioned before, Mr. Harris will be honored with an official funeral on Sunday, February 22nd at 3 p.m. at the Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road. The funeral will be live streamed on Cayman Islands Government TV channels, that is YouTube and cable channels. The House of Parliament will remain open to the public until 12:30 p.m., where members of the public can visit to pay their official respects to the late Mr. Austin Osmond Harris. The Royal Cayman Islands Police has an honor guard stationed at either side of the casket, as you'll observe on your screen. A casket beautifully draped in the Cayman Islands colors, representative of Mr. Harris's service to this country as an MP, and also as a member of the media, where he was able to contest, share, and explain the work of the Cayman Islands government, where he served as an advocate, his former party member, the Honorable Sir Alden McLaughlin, spoke to his resounding voice that will be remembered for generations to come by persons who listened to him on radio and those who would have had the opportunity to speak with him on a daily basis. He's remembered for being warm, for being direct, and for being a staunch supporter of all things Caymanian. He advocated for safer, greener, and cleaner communities. He's also remembered for wanting to make an impact on traffic management and a host of number of other details. If you're only now just joining us, you're watching The Lying in State for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr., former MP for the Prospect constituency, broadcaster, talk show host, community advocate, and proud Caymanian. You'll note a changing of the guard with representation from the Cayman Islands Coast Guard, who will relieve their colleagues from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service from their post. Honoring the life of Mr. Austin Harris Jr. You're watching the live CIG TV coverage of the lying in state for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr. You'll observe the changing of the honor guard between the Cayman Islands Coast Guard, now being relieved by members of the Cayman Islands Regiment. My name is Takia Smith, and thank you for joining our live broadcast here today. This morning's proceedings began with a very solemn arrival of the mortal remains of Mr. Austin Harris, and they were welcomed by the Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezra Miller, into the House of Parliament. The Honorable Sir Alden McLaughlin also offered remarks where he spoke fondly of Mr. Harris, who he would have worked alongside from 2017 to 2021 during his term as Premier. Mr. Harris is being remembered for being a member of Parliament and also a strong public advocate, primarily through his talk shows. Those are Cayman Cross Talk and Briefly Straight Talk, where he offered very direct commentary on the work of the Cayman Islands government. His background includes financial services, human resource management, but again, it was his voice, his strong, resounding, booming voice that the Cayman Islands will remember most dearly during his time on talk radio. Members of the public are invited to pay their respects at the House of Parliament until 12:30 p.m. today, where they can sign books of condolence. There's also books of condolence posted at the Government Administration Building, and they can be accessed from today through close of business and all day on Monday, February 23rd. Again, Mr. Harris lies in state with 2 members of the Cayman Islands Regiment standing guard, draped in the official Cayman Islands colors. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave messages on condolences in our live chat. As mentioned before, Mr. Harris is survived by his mother, Ruby, his son, Austin Harris III, known as Alex, 2 brothers, and a host of other relatives and friends. A memorial service will be held for him on Sunday, February 22nd at 3 p.m. at the Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road. Cayman Islands Government TV will be providing live coverage of the funeral right here on our YouTube and cable channels, so you can too join in virtually to pay your respects. Mr. Harris wasn't the MP for Prospect from 2017 to 2021 and served as the Parliamentary Secretary for Employment, Border Control, Community Affairs, International Trade, Investment, Aviation, and Maritime Affairs. Again, I'm Takia Smith providing live commentary throughout the lying in state for Mr. Austin Harris Jr. We will continue to broadcast live until 12:30 p.m. when the Honorable Speaker will say words of farewell to the mortal remains of Mr. Harris. Good morning, and again, welcome to the lying in state for Austin Harris Jr., former MP for Prospect, broadcaster, talk show host, son, father, brother, friend, and most of all, proud Caymanian. We now see changing of the honor guard. Members of the Cayman Islands Regiment are being relieved by representation from the Cayman Islands Fire Service as they take their post alongside the casket of Mr. Austin Harris. Proceedings would have begun this morning at 9:30 outside of the House of Parliament, where a bearer party and an honor guard representing multiple agencies from across the uniformed services would have brought the mortal remains to be received by Honorable Speaker Mr. Ezard Miller. The Honorable Speaker spoke warm words of welcome for Mr. Harris's remains. Welcoming him back to the House of Parliament, where he would have served from 2017 to 2021, representing the people of the Cayman Islands, particularly the members of the Prospect constituency. Members of the public can attend the House of Parliament to pay their respects directly to the mortal remains of Mr. Harris until 12:30 p.m. today. There they will find a book of condolences where they can sign. Books of condolences are also available at the Government Administration Building through close of business today, and will also be available on Monday, February 23rd from 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. An official funeral service will be held on Sunday, February 22nd at the Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road, beginning at 3 p.m. We will be providing live broadcast coverage of the official funeral right here on our Cayman Islands Government YouTube and cable channels, so persons can pay their respects to the family of Mr. Harris virtually. We would have seen his family come in to pay their respects to their late family member, led by his mother, Miss Ruby Harris, also including his son, Austin Alexander Harris III, better known as Alex, his two brothers, sisters-in-law, other close family members, and friends. Again, it was quite a somber and solemn moment today inside of the House of Parliament. Honorable Premier Andre Ebanks paid his formal respects, taking a moment to lay his hands on the casket and spending a few moments with the mortal remains of Mr. Harris. Other senior government officials, including Her Excellency the Governor, Mrs. Jane Owen, the Honorable Deputy Governor, Mr. Franz Manderson, all residing ministers, the leader of the opposition, and many others have been here today to pay their respects to Mr. Harris. We'll continue coverage through till 12:30 p.m., where the Honorable Speaker will bid the mortal remains of Mr. Harris farewell. Flags at all government buildings remain at half-mast today, as they would have been yesterday, in recognition of the Cayman Islands being in a period of national mourning, remembering Mr. Harris, who was a former MP for Prospect, and again, a strong advocate for the work of the Cayman Islands government through his media work as a talk show host and broadcaster. Among those who came to pay tribute was his colleague, Mr. Elio Solomon, who he co-hosted Cayman Crosstalk with. And it was quite an emotional scene here today at the House of Parliament. Again, I am Takia Smith, and you're watching The Lying in State for Mr. Austin Harris Jr. As members of the public have now begun to come to pay their respects. Good morning and welcome back to the lying in state for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr., former MP. We see members of the Cayman Islands Fire Service here standing guard at the casket of Mr. Harris, which has been lying in state since about 10 a.m. Senior members of the government, including the Honorable Premier, Her Excellency the Governor, the Honorable Deputy Governor, and all sitting cabinet ministers have come to pay their respects this morning, along with the family of Mr. Harris. Right now, we have a change of the honor guard about to take place. Members of the Cayman Islands, His Majesty Cayman Islands Prison Service, have now relieved the members of the Cayman Islands Fire Service from their post at Mr. Harris's side. Members of the public are welcome to visit the House of Parliament, where they can pay their respects to Mr. Harris and also sign the books of condolence until 12:30 p.m. today. You can also visit the Government Administration Building, where there are other books of condolences posted through end of day today and also on Monday, February 23rd. Mr. Harris will be honored with an official funeral at the Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road on Sunday, February 22nd at 3 p.m. We'll be providing live coverage of the funeral right here on CIG TV on both our cable and YouTube channels. Mr. Harris was born and raised right here in the Cayman Islands. He is a past student of the CCC School, where he graduated with academic honors in business studies before traveling to the University of Miami, where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Finance. His early career included financial services, particularly in private wealth management, and also human resource management. But he is best remembered for his time as a broadcaster and talk show host, where he spoke candidly about the work of the Cayman Islands government. It was in 2017 that Mr. Harris contested for the seat in Prospect and was successful, and would have served as parliamentary secretary with responsibility for employment, border control, community affairs, international trade, investment, aviation, and maritime. He's remembered for his work, particularly in community beautification, safety, traffic management, and neighborhood well-being. Mr. Harris passed away following a short bout of illness beginning in December 2025 and succumbed to that illness in January 2026. He leaves behind his mother, Ruby, son, Alex, brothers, sisters-in-law, friends, colleagues, and a nation who remembers the resounding sound of his voice. Again, my name is Takia Smith, and you're watching The Lying in State for Austin Harris Jr., as members of the public come to pay their respects. Good morning, and once again, welcome to the CIGTV live broadcast coverage of the lying in state from Mr. Austin Harris, MP. Right now, we'll have the changing of the guard with members from His Majesty Cayman Islands Prison Service being relieved by representation from the Cayman Islands Coast Guard. Today's lying in state would have begun at about 10 a.m. as the mortal remains of Mr. Harris were welcomed to the House of Parliament by the Honorable Speaker Ezra Miller. The flag was lowered to half-mast outside of the House of Parliament in alignment with flags at all government buildings to signify a period of national mourning. Flags will remain lowered at half-mast throughout the rest of today. Senior government officials did come to pay their respects, including Honorable Premier Mr. Andre Eubanks, Her Excellency the Governor Mrs. Jane Owen, Honorable Deputy Governor Mr. Franz Manderson, other members of the NCFC administration, members of the opposition, including leader of the opposition, and also Mr. Harris's family. Again, we keep the family of Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr. in our thoughts and prayers as they navigate this very sad time and they mourn the loss of their loved one. The official funeral will be held for Mr. Harris on Sunday, February 22nd at the Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road from 3 p.m. We will be providing live broadcast of the funeral, live broadcast coverage of the funeral, that is, right here on CIGTV YouTube and cable channels. If you would like to offer messages of condolences, you can do so right now virtually on our YouTube channel, or attend the House of Parliament in person until 12:30. About 1 hour remains, or you can pay your respects in person and sign the official book of condolence. Our book of condolence is also posted at the Government Administration Building, where it will remain through end of day, Monday, February 23rd. Again, my name is Sakia Smith. You're watching The Lying in State for the late Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr., former MP, broadcaster, talk show host, colleague, friend, son, brother, father, and dearest of all, Caymanian. May his soul rest in peace and perpetual light shine upon him. Good morning and welcome again to the lying in state for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr. We're here reporting live from the Cayman Islands House of Parliament, where you'll see our honor guard is being relieved. Members of the Cayman Islands Coast Guard are being relieved by representation from the Cayman Islands Regiment. The life of Mr. Harris has been honored with an official funeral, or will be honored with an official funeral, on Sunday, February 22nd at the Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road, beginning at 3 p.m. You can attend virtually by tuning into our live broadcast right here on CIG TV on our cable and YouTube channels. It has been quite a solemn morning here at the House of Parliament as we saw the family of Mr. Harris come in to pay their respects. His casket has been draped in the Cayman colors, the Cayman Islands colors, to commemorate his life of service, his contributions made to the Cayman Islands, not only as an MP, but also as a strong voice in the Cayman Islands media space, where he spoke openly about the work of the Cayman Islands government. The Honorable Sir Alden McLaughlin spoke briefly on the steps of Parliament this morning about his time with Mr. Harris, supporting him during the 2017 to 2021 administration, where Mr. Harris served as Parliamentary Secretary for Employment, Border Control, International Trade, Investment, Community Affairs, Aviation, and Maritime, and is fondly remembered for his passion for creating safer, cleaner, and greener spaces here in the Cayman Islands for all to enjoy. Mr. Harris passed away in late January of 2026 following a short stint of illness, and he was just 53 years of age. We'll continue to provide live broadcasts through to 12:30. Members of the public who want to attend can do so to pay their respects in person until 12:30 p.m. today. There they will find books of condolences at the House of Parliament that they can sign. Alternatively, they can attend the Government Administration Building and sign official books of condolences here as well through end of day today and Monday, February 23rd. Mr. Harris will continue to lie in state until 12:30 p.m., where the Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezra Miller, will bid his body farewell in line with the ceremonial rites assigned to a lying in state. Thank you for joining us. My name is Takia Smith, and I'll continue to provide live commentary through the end of this broadcast. Good morning once again. We are here broadcasting live from the House of Parliament for the lying in state for Mr. Austin Harris. Right now we have a changing of the guard between the Cayman Islands Regiment and the Cayman Islands Fire Service, who have now taken post alongside the body of Mr. Harris that has been lying in state in the House of Parliament for about 2 hours now. The public does have until 12:30 p.m. to come and pay their respects in person to Mr. Harris at the House of Parliament. There they will find books of condolence where they can sign. Books of condolence are also posted at the Government Administration Building and will be there until end of day, Monday, February 23rd. Mr. Harris will be honored with an official funeral on Sunday, February 22nd at the Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road. We'll be providing live broadcast coverage so you too can pay your respects virtually and leave messages of condolence for Mr. Harris's family. Flags are flying at half-mast today across the Cayman Islands, all government buildings, in honor of Mr. Harris's memory. Mr. Harris did serve as a member of Parliament for Prospect from 2017 to 2021, where he served as a parliamentary secretary with various areas of responsibility not limited to employment, border control, community affairs, international trade, investment, aviation, and maritime. He's best remembered for advocating for cleaner, safer, and greener spaces in Cayman and advocating for effective traffic management during his political term. However, it's his voice that will be immortalized throughout Cayman as a former broadcaster and radio host. His most popular program, Cayman Crosstalk, he hosted alongside colleague and friend, Mr. Elio Solomon. Mr. Solomon was amongst those who came to pay their respects in person today, and it was quite a solemn scene. Honorable Premier Mr. Andre Ebanks paid his respects as well as Her Excellency the Governor, Mrs. Jane Owen, the Deputy Governor, Honorable Franz Manderson, ministers, members of the opposition, his family, and friends. Today we honor the life of a countryman, a son, a father, a brother, a former MP, and a member of the Cayman Islands media, Mr. Austin Osmond Harris, Jr. His body will continue to lie in state again until 12:30 p.m. today. Upon his departure, the Honorable Speaker will come out to bid him official farewell. If you would like to leave messages of condolences, you can do so in our YouTube live chat right now on the Cayman Islands Government YouTube channel. And you can also, again, tune in virtually on Sunday for Mr. Harris's official funeral beginning at 3 p.m. I'm Takia Smith, and you are watching the lying in state of Mr. Austin Osmond Harris, Jr., MP. Good afternoon and welcome to the live broadcast of the Lying in State for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr. We have been here at the Lying in State since about 9:30 a.m. Here we'll have a changing of the guard once again between the Cayman Islands Fire Service this time and representation from His Majesty's Cayman Islands Prison Service, who will take their post and guard the body of Mr. Harris. The guard will change one more time before the Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezra Miller, will escort or will bid farewell to the mortal remains of Mr. Austin Harris. Mr. Harris passed away in late January of 2026 following a brief bout of illness. He is survived by his mother, Ruby, his son, Alex, his brothers, sisters-in-law, and a host of other relatives, colleagues, and friends. Senior government officials have paid their respects today, including the Honorable Premier Andre Ebanks, Honorable Deputy Premier Mr. Gary Reddy, Her Excellency the Governor Mrs. Jane Owen, the Deputy Governor Honorable Franz Manderson, Minister for Health, Environment, and Sustainability, the Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes, the Minister for Cayman and Employment and Immigration, the Honorable Michael Miles, Minister for Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, and Social Development and Innovation, the Honorable Isaac Rankin, Minister for Education and Training, and Finance and Economic Development, the Honorable Ralston Anglin, MPs for Bordentown East and the West, Mr. Dwayne Seymour and Mr. Chris Saunders, Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Joey Hugh, the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, and a host of other past and sitting government officials. It has truly been a solemn day as we mourn as a nation the loss of an MP and prominent voice in the Cayman Islands media space, Mr. Austin Osmond Harris. Our live broadcast will continue until about 12:30 p.m. Members of the public still have time to go and pay their respects in person. Books of condolences can be found at the House of Parliament today until 12:30 p.m. and also at the Government Administration Building until close of business on Monday, February 23rd. My name is Takia Smith, and you're watching The Lying in State for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr. Good afternoon. We are here at the House of Parliament as we begin the final moments of the lying in state for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr., former MP for Prospect. The final members of the Honor Guard have taken their stations alongside Mr. Harris's body at the House of Parliament as it lies in state. Shortly, we will see the Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezard Miller, begin the farewell rites to bid the body of Mr. Harris farewell. If you're just joining us, this is the lying in state for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris, who succumbed to illness following a brief period in January 2026. He is best known for being a prominent member of the Cayman Islands media space, in particular being the host of Cayman Crosstalk, where he led candor about the work of the Cayman Islands government. He briefly served as a member of the Cayman Islands Parliament from 2017 to 2021 and made notable impact across a number of subject areas, including and not limited to employment, border control, international trade, maritime, aviation, international affairs, and community affairs. Members of the public have just a few short moments if they would like to pay their respects to Mr. Harris in person. His official funeral will be held on Sunday, February 22nd at the Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road. You'll see here a member of the public taking a moment to pay his respects. We thank you for joining us. Again, my name is Sakia Smith, and you're watching The Lying in State for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr. Good afternoon. My name is Takia Smith, and you're watching the final moments of the CIG TV live broadcast coverage of the lying in state for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr., former MP and talk show host, broadcaster, son, father, brother, colleague, and best of all, proud Caymanian. Preparation is beginning for the final moments where Mr. Harris will lie in state. He'll be sent off with words of farewell from the Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezard Miller, in just a few moments. We have been broadcasting since about 9:30 a.m. this morning. Mr. Harris's mortal remains were brought into the House of Parliament by a color party with representation from multiple areas of the uniformed services, including the Royal Cayman Islands Police, the Cayman Islands Fire Service, the Cayman Islands Prison Service, the Cayman Islands Coast Guard, and the Cayman Islands Regiment. He was greeted, the mortal remains were greeted by representation from across the government, especially in senior leadership, including from Premier Honorable Andre Ebanks, Her Excellency the Governor, Mrs. Jane Owen, Deputy Governor Honorable Franz Manderson, all ministers in the NCFC administration, and several other past and seated members of Parliament. We'll see his family start to step outside of the House of Parliament as they are set to begin the rites of farewell for today's lying in state. Mr. Harris's casket is draped in the Cayman colors, a custom that is reserved for persons who have delivered service to the Cayman Islands, as he would have as MP for Prospect from 2017 to 2021. In just a moment, he'll be escorted out down the steps of the House of Parliament, the same steps he would have taken to play a role in legislation for the Cayman Islands during his term. The Honorable Speaker of the House, Mr. Ezard Miller, is about to step outside where he'll take the podium to speak words of farewell. Mr. Harris's family is there standing on the steps with his mother seated in front. And the hearse has arrived to collect the mortal remains of Mr. Austin Harris. Again, my name is Takia Smith, and I have been providing live commentary of today's lying in state. It has been my honor to articulate the finer details of this moment in Cayman's history as we mourn the loss of former MP Harris. As you will see, flags in the background that have been lowered to half-mast in recognition of mourning for Mr. Harris. Flags have been lowered since yesterday and will remain lowered until sunset today. Members of the public who would like to sign a book of condolence can do so by visiting the Government Administration Building until close of business today and also throughout the day on Monday, February 23rd. We will next prepare for the official funeral for Mr. Harris. That'll be taking place on Sunday, February 22nd at the Church of God on Walker's Road. Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road, beginning at 3 p.m. CIG TV will be providing a live broadcast of the funeral here on our channels, both cable and YouTube. The public is welcome to attend virtually and leave their messages of condolence in our live chat. Mr. Harris was born and raised right here in the Cayman Islands. He attended the Triple C School, where he graduated with honors before attending the University of Miami, where he got a Bachelor of Science in Finance. From there, he led a career in financial services, but it was his passion for broadcast and being a voice of the people that he'll be best remembered for as a broadcaster and radio show talk host, particularly Cayman Crosstalk. We see the Bearer Party and Honor Guard, our multi-agency Bearer Party and Honor Guard that are starting to march down the steps before the House of Parliament. There are onlookers in the central Georgetown area looking on as the rites of passage are continue to be performed on the steps of House of Parliament. The Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ezra Miller, will be taking podium shortly to express words of farewell as the body of Mr. Harris leaves the House of Parliament. It has truly been a solemn morning, but a historic morning nonetheless, as we remember Mr. Austin Harris. A salute has been given as Mr. Harris's body is taken to the steps of the House of Parliament. We expect that the Honorable Speaker will speak in just a moment as he bids the mortal remains of Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr. farewell from the House of Parliament. The bearer party has arrived to transport the body of Mr. Harris from the steps of the House of Parliament to the hearse. Honorable Speaker Ezra Miller is expected to bid the body of Mr. Harris farewell in just a moment. Again, my name is Takia Smith. You're watching the live broadcast for the lying in state of Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr.
Today, we bid farewell to Mr. Austin Osborne Harris, a respected parliamentarian, a devoted public servant, and a man whose contribution to our community will be long remembered. Mr. Harris served with principle, stated judgment, and a clear sense of duty, never losing sight of the people he represented and the responsibility he carried on their behalf. His work here was matched by his character beyond this chamber. Thoughtful, committed, and grounded in service to his family, loved ones, and the people he served. We offer our deepest sympathy and our enduring gratitude for his life and legacy. May his example continue to guide those who follow. May he rest in peace. Thank you.
That was the final words of farewell from Honorable Speaker Mr. Ezra Miller. The bearer party, accompanied by a representative from Churchill's Funeral Home, will now guide the body of Mr. Harris down the steps of Parliament and into a hearse where it will be transported and held until the official funeral on Sunday, February 22nd. Representatives from the House of Parliament are looking on. Again, another solemn moment. You'll see the family of Mr. Harris on screen to the right as they watch their loved one be carried away. My name is Takia Smith, and you're catching the final moments of the lying in state for Mr. Austin Osmond Harris Jr., who passed away in late January 2026 from a brief bout of illness. The bearer party is displaying skill, focus, as they stoically guide the casket into the hearse, led by Inspector Ian Yearwood of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. Once again, a reminder that the official funeral will be held on Sunday, February 22nd at the Church of God Chapel on Walker's Road, beginning at 3 p.m. We will be providing a live broadcast here on CIG TV, YouTube, and cable. You can offer messages of condolences during the funeral, during our live chat, or sign the condolence book that will be held at the Government Administration Building until close of business today, February 20th, and again until close of business on Monday, February 23rd. Their party is taking steps away from the hearse now as the honor party. The guard of honor stands and looks on. The Honorable Speaker of the House, the Deputy Clerk, the Clerk Sergeant of Arms, all looking on. You'll see onlookers in Georgetown standing and watching the proceedings from the street during this historic moment.
Gentlemen,
Guard of Honor is now marching off.
Left wheel.
You'll hear the sirens in the background as the police escort will guide the hearse containing the body of Mr. Harris away from the House of Parliament in just a moment. Again, my name is Takia Smith. It has been an honor to provide live commentary for today's Lying in State, where Mr. Osmond Harris was recognized for his work as a member of Parliament for Prospect from 2017 to 2021. Thank you again. It's been my privilege to serve you. Have a pleasant afternoon.